Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March 29th, and Evan and I are coming to you live from Chicago on the one-day special of Evan's new product, Complete Shoulder Conditioning 2.0. We are so excited. We released this at midnight this morning. It's been a long night. But with that, we've had some amazing people come on and buy this. We've had massage therapists, personal trainers, chiropractors, Pilates instructors from all over the world come in and buy this new amazing product. They've taken advantage of Evan's 20th year anniversary sale for this new product. And of course, it will be available after today. However, today it is 50% off because of the celebration. Rather than passing out cupcakes to everybody this year, Evan has decided to make this amazing product and offer it today only for this amazing price. So with that, Evan and I were just talking about what are we going to really talk to these guys about besides just updating them and making sure that they know about this new product was what's the biggest thing we want them to really do once they get this product?
Well, one of the biggest things, and believe me, I've been guilty of this as well. You invest in this product because it sounds so great. The information is great. You know it's going to help you. It's going to help your clients. It's going to help your business. But then the information is there's so much information, hours and hours of content or pages of things to read and manuals to look through that you sort of get overwhelmed and then you get sort of stalled and you never really take action. You never really follow through with it. So in order to help you get started right away and to implement this information, like literally you could start today watching these videos. And the cool thing about this product is it's all online, so you have access to it right away. You could watch these videos that are short videos, 3 to 5, maybe the longest is 8 minutes in length, and get started using this information right away. In fact, if you had a lunch break, you could watch the first 7 videos, the principles of how the shoulder works, how the shoulder complex relates to the head and neck and thorax. You could watch the 7 corrective exercise videos in your lunch break while you're eating, and then use these principles and strategies in your afternoon sessions and already start to see changes in your clients. And that's what's really amazing about this product. Obviously, we're biased about it, but you can use this information right away. And it's exactly why we designed the bonuses, the quick action bonus, so that you can use the information right away. You don't have to go through hours and hours and hours of information, even though you'll have tons of resources and information as part of this product. You can get started right away discovering how the shoulder works, what commonly goes wrong, and then how to start to implement some strategic corrective exercises and strategies to help your clients start to improve range of motion, stability, control, decrease chronic tightness and discomfort, and really do the things that they need to, want to, and or love to do.
Hey, actually, John Schultz just put a comment in here. He already bought the product, and he's super excited about the bonuses and excited to implement. And John, we're super excited for you to implement, and we want to hear your feedback once you do that, because some of those bonuses include the 7 exercises to avoid or significantly modify so that what you're doing with your client is your intent, which is to help make them better, stronger, faster, whatever, rather than impede them, hurt them, whatever. Because I think that's one of the biggest things a lot of people come to us like, oh my God, I feel like I might be hurting my clients. And just in the one bonus alone, Evan gives you 7 exercises to avoid. And like he said, those videos are 3 to 5 minutes. Some of the other ones that are more context, and Evan always uses this analogy in his classes, is we always need to put the horse in front of the cart instead of the cart in front of the horse. So you are going to get meat. You're going to get how do I use this information. It's a lecture format. But again, you can start and stop it whenever you want. But you're going to understand so that you can explain to your clients, so that you can understand what's going on in your body, what's going on in your clients' bodies. You can learn to educate your clients because you're going to have not just exercises, you're going to have meaning behind an explanation for the exercises. Because another challenge people say is like, my clients are going to hate this. It's different than what we're doing. Well, your job is to give them what they want and give them what they need at the same time. And part of that is educating them.
Yeah, and one of the most important things about our approach and why we share the information in the manner we do, meaning we really want you to understand and master functional anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control. And I make it super simple. And that's why we really created these quick action bonuses, because we wanted to simplify the process so you really understand why you do certain exercises and why you may want to avoid certain exercises and or strategies. And as Jenice said, because in our industry, and we're all guilty of this, myself included, we want exercises to help our clients because we know that they are basically the medicine, our medicine as functional movement specialists, as exercise specialists, as fitness professionals, as health professionals. Exercise is our medicine to help our clients feel better, move better, and accomplish their health and fitness goals. However, what happens when you learn exercises is you just learn what to do. You don't understand why you're doing it, who it applies to, who it doesn't apply to, and what strategies and or techniques you may need to avoid. Because just as important as it is to understand what to do, sometimes it's more important understanding what not to do. And for myself, I shared with you my story earlier. I experienced chronic rotator cuff tears, labral tears in my shoulders, years of shoulder problems from doing specific things I was taught to do that most of us were taught to do, like squeezing down and back with the shoulders. The most important strategy for me that would have avoided, 100% avoided all my shoulder issues is if somebody told me that you shouldn't pull your shoulder blades down and back and train scapular retraction so hard like I did. Jenice has a very similar strategy that she needed to avoid that she learned early on that directly contributed to her migraine headaches and her chronic shoulder issues, which was
pull your shoulders down and back, lift your chest up to stand up straight, to not have poor posture. And while it sounded good, and oftentimes we think that looks good, when you start to really analyze what you're doing, it's not good at all. And that's really what we discovered. And honestly, changing that, which wasn't easy, it sounds easy, just stop doing that. But just changing that over time, I get to be headache free 30 of 31 days a month, because some months only have 30 and some only have 28. So guess what? No headaches then. So, but it's life changing when you can take that away, when you can help somebody relieve that. So the biggest thing, our biggest takeaway we really want for you to get from this is this information is, one, at this amazing price today only. Two, it is information you can implement immediately just by taking the simple exercises that Evan talks about. Go ahead and use the Quick Start Guide. If you've already bought the product, please use the Quick Start Guide. Evan takes you through how to progress through the information, which is so important just for you to have success with the information. The other thing is hey, listen, some of the bonuses are amazing opportunities for you to get on live with Evan on a conversation when he's going to do this webinar. Come join us at a class. Some of you are going to be coming to our classes for free because you took action immediately today when this was available. Some of you are going to come at this huge discounted price next year. We are aiming to have 9 locations for this 3-day workshop next year. We're super excited because one of them is going to be in California, and I love California. But yes, we're going to hopefully add a New York location. He's laughing at me. We're hopefully going to add a New York location next year as well. And a lot of people have been asking us to come to New York. And if you are interested and you have a place that you would like us to come to, shoot us an email. You now have our email once you buy this product or you're on our newsletter list. Shoot us an email. Let us know where you want us to come to and teach this 3-day workshop. But for you action takers, you are awesome. We look forward to seeing you at an event maybe later this year or next year. And for now, that is our update, unless there's anything else that you want to share.
One additional thing, because we've been talking about the bonuses, what actually do you get as part of the program? Well, in the program itself, the actual bulk of the program, there's 6 modules of information broken down into about an hour worth of information. And again, that information is broken down into 2 15-minute type webinars, so you have the background, functional anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control. It's also broken down into small video segments, again, 3 to 5 minutes, applying the assessments, the corrective exercise strategy, as well as the functional movement progressions, integrating this information so that way you understand how the shoulder complex functions, how to use the most appropriate cues and strategies to improve range of motion, stability, control, and decrease chronic neck tension, chronic shoulder tension, chronic upper back tension. So the 6 modules basically cover how do you address and align the head and neck over top the thorax. How does the head and neck and thorax relate to the shoulder complex? And then how do you maintain alignment and control of the head and neck and thorax as you're performing your pushing and pulling patterns? And how do you start to train your clients to take control of their own health care? And that's a big part of when clients come and see us in our office, because we're still practitioners, I should say, practicing. It's important to us to teach and educate our clients what they need to do outside of their sessions with us. And that's what you're going to be able to do as well, is educate your client so that they have the best strategies, so that they have the tools to help themselves, and then you can really help them progress their exercises so they can ultimately use their exercises to accomplish their health and fitness goals. And that's really what the program is all about. You have, like the program says, a complete resource guide. And then one last thing, like why 2.0? Because like people ask us like, what happened to 1.0? So I was digging through my archives and I found this book right here, Complete Shoulder Conditioning.
And some of you have told us you have this book.
Some of you bought this book. I wrote this book back in 2005, so actually I probably wrote it in 2004. And yeah, it's a really rough book. It's rough pictures. It's, you know, we self-published, we had it self-binding. However, the strategies and principles that we developed way back then, 2003 and 4, would become the foundation for all the strategies that we started to develop over the years and really hone in, which is why we created Complete Shoulder Conditioning 2.0, to really give you the updated version, the exact strategies that we're using with ourselves and our clients. In fact, I had a patient come in last night, and like I said, we're still in practice. Last night I had a patient come in experiencing chronic shoulder issues. And he was doing the typical, he was in physical therapy, and he was doing the typical exercises, stretch the chest, squeeze down and back, do those retraction exercises, and his shoulders were not getting better. And as I evaluated him, and this is the important part of using your assessments, is like, I said to him, your chest muscles are not tight. Yes, they look tight because you have the forward shoulder, but one of the most significant muscles that will drive the shoulder forward is the muscle that many of us have been told to strengthen. And that muscle is the latissimus dorsi. And I got extremely strong, strengthening my latissimus dorsi. And guess what? My shoulder just got more forward and more depressed and more compressed. And I had more anterior shoulder problems and hence my labral tears and rotator cuff tears. So I had to teach him how to release his lats, stop stretching his pecs, and then teach him how to stabilize his shoulder blades in a more optimal position. And then by the end of the session, just with that little bit of strategy that I'm going to share with you in this product, he was able to lift his arm without crepitus and crunching in the shoulder and a lot less pain in the front of his shoulder. So you can help so many clients with this information. I know we keep beating a dead horse, so to speak, but you'll help so many clients because they need this information, because there's so much misinformation out there about how the shoulder works, how it relates to the head and neck and thorax, and the simple things that you can have your clients do to help improve alignment, control, as well as just how they feel in their body, as Jenice and I can attest to from our own personal experience.
One question I'm going to ask, because people are going to ask, well, there's actually two questions. So one is, hey, Evan, that's awesome that your client felt great in that session, but how long is that going to last?
That's a great question. And here's the question I always ask health and fitness professionals when they ask me that question. How long does anything last? If you eat a bowl of broccoli, how long does that effect last? If you do a set of bicep curls, how long do those effects last? It's not about the impact of what you do then and there. Yes, it gave my client that wow factor, that buy-in, like, hey, this actually makes sense what you're saying to me because now I can feel the difference right away.
And relief. He got relief.
And he got relief right away. What makes the most amount of difference, and going back to that analogy that Jenice shared with you that we teach as part of our programs, don't put your cart before the horse. Yes, it's important to give your clients that immediate impact, that immediate effect from your exercises. But it's about the strategy that you're helping them create, not the exercises. So the biggest thing that differentiates this approach from all the other approaches that are out there, it's really the key thing, is we teach you the strategy, how to look at the shoulder, evaluate the shoulder, assess the shoulder, use corrective exercises, how to progress into the functional exercise patterns, but not be married to our approach, because you have exercises that work and you have some exercises that probably jack your clients up a little bit. But with this information, you will now have the strategy based upon the foundation of principles, functional anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control, to choose the most effective and most appropriate exercises, and then eliminate some of the strategies that actually create problems and perpetuate problems in your clients. And that's what having a strategy, a principle-based strategy and system is really all about, that we share with you inside Complete Shoulder Conditioning 2.0.
So my final question, then we're going to wrap up for now, and we'll come back later today to answer more questions. And if you're on or if you're watching it after this is posted, please post your questions. We're going to be watching Facebook all day to answer any questions about this product. The other question is going to be, hey, Evan, maybe I did buy your book and I realize that I now have bought your latest book that was published in 2012, Corrective Exercise Solutions for Common Hip and Shoulder Dysfunction. If I bought that product, do I need to buy this one? What's the difference?
Yeah. So obviously this book in 2005 set the stage. My publisher reached out to me. He got a copy of this and he asked me if I wanted to write a book. And that's where the Complete Hip and Shoulder conditioning, corrective exercises for shoulder and hip came about. Now, I wrote that in 2010, so that's now going back 8 years. Now, some of the foundational information around functional anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control have not changed. It's exactly the same information. But what we've done in this product is a couple things. Number one, we've simplified the process, because a lot of people will read that book and say, it's so complicated, I can only read a paragraph at a time or maybe a page at a time.
And actually, Andrea is watching, and I bet you Andrea would say, yes, it is much simpler now than it was back when I first started with your programs.
And that's really the beauty of developing your, I'll call it genius level. And I'm not trying to suggest I'm a genius or anything like that, but the smarter you become, the more educated you become, the simpler you make things. Not simplify things to the point where they're irrelevant, because that's unfortunately what's happened in our industry, is we've simplified things so much that they're almost not relevant and actually creating problems. Like I said, squeezing down and back is actually creating problems because we've oversimplified how the shoulder functions. But what we've been able to do over the years, and what's changed since 2012, is the information hasn't changed so much. We've simplified the process so it makes sense. So you understand how the shoulder functions, how it relates to the head and neck, and then how and why you use these specific corrective exercises to help your clients improve alignment, control, range of motion, decrease chronic tension and discomfort, and then get back to those activities that they need and want to do. And then even some of our corrective exercises have changed because they've helped us, as we've understood the shoulder more, they've helped us better improve how we train our clients and the exercises that we use, the patterns, the cues, and our approach to actually training the shoulder.
I see one of our friends over in Europe, and please forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce your first name, Mr. Larson. I know that you've been following Evan's work for a really long time, and he's saying that you are a genius of biomechanics, and I know Evan appreciates that. He probably would humbly say, no, I am not, but thank you for your kind words. That's awesome. So, okay, if you have any questions, again, please post them below, reach out to us. We're happy to answer them. And if you bought the product, get in there, use it, implement it today, start today, don't delay. That rhymed, that's how I roll. Anyway, we will talk to you guys later today. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. We'll see you later.